One of the things that police do when they investigate any kind of crime or they're investigating anybody, they look for MO, modus operandi, and that tells them how somebody operates. But the only thing is, you heard me say them, it tells them. But who is telling on them? And what I mean by that is, it's always external when it comes down to us and democracy and what we think the rights that we have that have been taken away slowly but surely, and people get mad. Social media is just like a microcosm of society, okay? If you are not the status quo, rich, then you don't get a voice in what goes on. And a lot of times you're too distracted to even understand that. But I'm gonna let somebody else talk to you about that, and then we'll come back.
Of course, the capitalist system lies all the time. Some people think it lies some of the time, but it lies all of the time. And in lying, it is as an attempt to make us think that in the 60s we were an organized people and everything was all right. We were not organized. We were a mobilized people. Thus are we to get a heavy lesson from the 60s. The lessons must be clear. A mobilized people, really, an instinctive people, a spontaneous people who struggle like animals. Everywhere you will see us, it is always an outside force that provokes the African masses into action. Of course, the capitalist system lies all the time. Some people think it lies some of the time, but it lies all of the time.
So, we have to be pushed into action. What a shame. I tell you what, one of the things that I will tell you is this: if that's the way we have to operate, we're in trouble.
Look for the resistance. When I was a kid, if I did something dumb or asked my dad a question I should be able to figure out myself, he'd look at me and he'd say, use your head for something besides a hat rack. Well, folks, I think we, as social media users, as content creators and viewers alike, we need to start using our heads for something besides hat racks. See, Donald Trump, he may be dumb enough to juggle bowling balls in a glass-bottom boat, but he ain't so dumb that he doesn't know how to keep us distracted. Over the last few days, I can't count how many videos I saw about his press conference the other day on refusing to rule out military force and all that. I saw one video that gave me good information that was important. Thanks to these ladies, I know that Trump also talked about rolling back environmental protections and outlawing electric heaters of all things. I sure would like to know more about that. Anyway, Trump says something stupid. The national media reports on it. Then we all make videos about it. And you all watch the videos and click and share and comment. And then Trump says, what can I say stupid tomorrow to keep people from realizing that I made a phone call with Justice Alito just before my legal brief dropped? Or the national media, they're sitting in their newsrooms reviewing all the social media data to see what the people who are using social media, what are they watching, what are they engaging with, and that's going to tell them what they're going to report on next. And if nobody's paying attention to the important stuff, then they're not going to report on the important stuff. But we're all going to complain about them not reporting on the important stuff. Folks, we can't complain about the media normalizing Trump if we are normalizing Trump.
We got to use our heads for something other than a hat rack. Dear TikTok, I have received your message and the message of someone who scrutinized my every move and video that I tried to attempt to publish. You are now taking the last bastion of free speech away from those people you created this platform for, simply because you don't like the content, or maybe you don't like the person that's giving the content. No matter what, I've asked to speak to managers and supervisors, and maybe 48 hours later, you'll overturn the banning of my video. The background music was too long, hateful, insightful conversation or opinions, untruthful behavior and opinions, and you say they weren't facts. But the fact of the matter is, people who mistreat people don't want the mistreated to talk about the things that mistreatment does to them and who did it to them. We talk about democracy and all of this foolishness, and that's all it is, because it boils down to rich people telling poor people what to do, how to live, and giving them only the scraps from the table. They are allowed to use the system that they set up, not for everybody, for them. Okay? If you look at the system, you will see that they do not obey the laws. The point right now is that, do you think that voting in a presidential election actually matters? Do you think that most people in this country even care about democracy? They just want to know that they're on top of another group of people. And the fact of the matter is, when they talk about somebody like me being hateful, who doesn't have any power to hurt them other than my voice at the present time, you do not look at the hate groups that you've allowed to exist for hundreds of years that tarred and feathered, lynched, raped, and did all kind of things. But, oh, now you're going to get offended again because I talked about people doing something to us. And Lord forbid, if we talk about doing something to somebody else, oh, you're going to put that all over the news, and you're going to make sure that everybody feels that, we're being threatened by people of color. When people of color do not have the ability at this time to really do you too much harm. So the purpose is to distract, divide, and conquer, okay? But most of us can't see that because they're too busy trying to be something that they're not and to be like you, okay? But they don't understand that you will never care about them. They will never be a part or even eat at the same table as you. You will always make the billions and trillions, and you don't care if a couple of people of color make millions, because you will always be in control. It's just like this platform. You're hired to do a job, but all of a sudden, now you start acting like you're the people that are really in charge, when your job is just to make sure that the guidelines are being followed. But all of a sudden, what? Personality gets in the way. The way you feel about certain other people gets in the way. So now, instead of this being social media, this is controlled media. And nobody's talking about it because you know that most people will just sit back and watch. They won't do anything until they're made to do something, until they're suffering. And that is the whole point of distraction. When you're distracted, they steal even more from you.